Hey, Freddy Servant here. Welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video, I'm going to talk about how long it will take for the SBA to redisperse funds returned by your bank for the Targeted EIDL grant funds. I'm sure many of you are wondering, has anybody received redispersed funds previously returned for the targeted and supplemental advances? And the answer to that is yes. In this video, I'm going to share my experiences and timeline on how long it actually took for me and my business to get funds redispersed into my bank. But before we do that, if you wouldn't mind giving this video a like, as it really helps to push this content out to other business owners who may be wondering if they're ever going to receive redispersed funds from the SBA. So on May 25th, I was sent an email from the SBA that I was approved for the Targeted EIDL Advance. And on the same day, I received an invitation to request the supplemental Targeted Advance. And by May 27th, a few days later, I was sent an email that I was approved for that as well. So I immediately called my bank to let them know that there would be a couple of large deposits coming in from the SBA, and so that there was no surprises. And my bank representative was kind enough to remind me that my bank was in the middle of a transition period and that my routing number was actually changing and that the deposits were probably not going to come in enough time and that they were going to be returned to the SBA. So I was asked to call back in a few days to check my bank if they could see on their side the deposit from the SBA. So I called my bank back and they said that they could not see the deposit from the SBA. So June 4th, I called the SBA to let them know about the situation, and the customer service asked me to send an email to the following email address: COVID Advanced Bank Returns at SBA.gov, and to include my application number in the subject line, and to attach essentially 3 attachments, which was a copy of the front and back of my driver's license and a copy of a voided check. I included those attachments in the email, and I also included a copy of a bank verification letter from my bank. So on the same day, I received an email from the SBA that my request was received and being processed. So again, it was just another waiting period, and a few weeks go by. On June 18th, I decided to send a follow-up email to the SBA that looks something like this. This is the actual email that I sent to the SBA, just a friendly follow-up email to ask them where they were in the process and to advise the status. And so again, just another waiting period with the SBA. I always recommend, not checking your portal all the time, not losing hope, always keeping patience. And so on June 25th, I was contacted over the phone from a SBA general attorney who said that the SBA needed to verify some information with me to determine if they could redisperse those funds. So I was asked to reach out to my bank to verify some information. I called my bank as soon as I got off the phone to let them know the situation and that if it was okay for me to ask them some questions and to verify some information for the SBA. The main thing that they asked was if my bank accepts SBA ACH deposits, which fortunately my bank does. I do have a business checking account. So the same day, I sent a follow-up email which included the name of the person that I spoke to with the bank and the date I spoke with them, along with the information they needed to verify, and I signed a consent to redisperse those funds. So on the same day, I did this all within one day, I sent that over to the general attorney within a timely manner. And again, just another waiting period. So on July 1st, I decided to send a follow-up email because you have to stay persistent, you have to stay diligent, to ask them if they received that information, because I hadn't heard back from them if they'd even received the information that I had sent to them prior. So again, a couple of weeks go by, and on July 15th, I received a confirmation email from the same general attorney that they received my answers and consent to redisperse funds. And that was it. Just a short email. That was it. And so again, just another waiting period, guys. Again, I would just recommend keeping yourself distracted, working on business projects, keeping busy and not always checking your portal every single day for updates. So another month goes by. And so now we're in August, and on August 17th, I was contacted by another SBA representative over the phone, and they needed my authorization to verify a direct deposit form and that bank verification letter that I provided to them. So again, I think when I provided that bank verification letter, that was a positive thing. That helped move the process forward. And so again, guys, the SBA representative asked me if I could call my bank, but the only difference this time is they wanted to be on the phone, and they wanted me to ask permission from my bank if it was okay for them, the SBA, to speak to my bank with me over the phone to verify this information. So guys, don't be surprised if it gets to this point, that if it gets escalated and if they actually need a legal, assistant or representative to get on the phone with your bank. So it took about 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and they successfully verified the information. And the SBA legal assistant representative let me know that she was processing the information, and that if I had any questions, I could go back to the original general attorney that I'd been going back and forth with on my file. So the same day, I received an email from the SBA general attorney, the one that I'd been going back and forth with, and he let me know that the information was processed and that I should expect to receive my funds into my account within 2 to 3 weeks, and to monitor my account for the redisbursement, as he called it. And so a week later, on August 25th, I was finally fully funded for both the targeted and supplemental advances. So guys, if you're out there wondering, looking up information, if you're ever going to get your funds redispersed, the answer is yes. My process took 13 weeks, about 13 weeks to get my funds redispersed, and a whole lot of patience, and again, keeping a good attitude, because they're going to ask you the same questions. They're going to verify the same information, sometimes several times. Expect that, and don't be surprised again if they need to get on the phone with your bank. But actually, that's probably a positive thing, and letting you know that things are moving forward in the process. So hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, give this video a like. Consider sharing it out to another person or business owner that may be wondering, again, if they're ever going to receive their funds that had previously been returned to the SBA by their bank. And if you are wondering what the cost of business insurance is, you could always, as always, tap the link below in this video and fill out a quick form and find out how much it costs to get business insurance for you and your business, and find out the simple process of getting coverage, usually within minutes. So thank you guys again for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.